Well, after all those years in the public eye, he is not done just yet.
Wisconsin's longest-serving governor, Tommy Thompson, left that job to become Health and Human Services Secretary for the George W. Bush White House. He now has our nation's health on his mind with his latest mission.
And he joins us now in studio with more on exactly what that mission is. And Governor, thanks for being with us.
Welcome.
Great to see you.
Well, first off, let me just say thank you. You two individuals are as beautiful and as nice and as wonderful as I remember you. So thank you very much for having me on your program.
Governor, you're looking very good too. I remember being on the campaign trail with you and watching you do push-ups.
Still doing 100 a day?
Are you still doing 100 a day?
I do about 100 a day, yes.
That's
50. I get up in the morning and do 50 in the morning, and then throughout the day I do another 50. And 100 setups.
So now you're speaking about what you know about staying healthy.
Fit and being healthy.
Well, I really believe very sincerely about the fact that we have to do something about health care. You know, a lot of discussion today in Washington. We got a filibuster going of sorts, and of course there's going to be a debate as to whether or not Obamacare is going to be delayed or not. And so there's just a lot of discussion, a lot of uncertainty. But the truth of the matter is we are not very healthy in America. And if we're going to ever get control of our health care costs, we got to start being healthy. We got to eat right, we got to exercise, and we got to do things that are going to be able to make sure that we do things to prevent chronic illnesses, because that's where 75% of the cost of health care. So I'm out there cheering and asking people, you know, to follow me, and let's get America fit. Let's do what is right to get us healthy in America, because we need to.
Probably healthy for you not to have to be in Washington dealing with all that mess and all the stress that comes with it either.
Well, I don't know about that, but the truth of the matter is that we have to get health care right, because it's actually 20% of our gross national product. Not quite 20% yet, but it's approaching very closely to 20%. And there's nothing, you know, food, clothing, whatever, doesn't even come anywhere near what the cost of health care does for us as Americans. And the next closest country is Germany. They spend 11%. So you compare 20% to 11%. China spends 3.5%. So we're way out there. And the reason we are is we don't take care of ourselves. We expect somehow that we're going to be able to become healthy by watching sports and watching television and eating fried foods, and it just doesn't work that way.
Well, in Wisconsin, it's a particular battle. We're always battling.
Yes, we are.
We're one of the fattest states in the country.
But you look at the statistics and across the board, and Wisconsin is not as obese as the national average is. The national average, 35.7% of the population is obese. In Wisconsin, it's closer to 26%. So 1 out of 4 versus 1 out of 3. That's still not very good, but the truth of the matter is we're healthier. But we have to do a better job in Wisconsin as well as across the country. And that's my job, is to go out and talk about it and hopefully get people encouraged to, you know, just to stand up and say, you know, I'm going to go out tomorrow and start exercising. I'm going to eat a little bit better. I'm going to push myself away from the plate. I tell people, you know, instead of having go out and doesn't mean you can't have your brats and your hot dogs and hamburgers. But instead of having 4 hamburgers, try 1. Instead of 3 brats, just try 1.
But there's a personal side, but you also believe strongly there's a policy side too, that the government plays a role in classifying obesity as a disease, covering it through Medicare. That's a big piece of it.
It's a big thing, and it's really a departure from what the modern thinking is. Or the modern thinking is to do that, to cover it. But up until now, everybody's shied away from this. Says, you know, if you're fat, it's your fault. But the truth of the matter is, you know, some people are going to be fat and they can't lose weight. They can't exercise, and because of their metabolism, because of their physical structure, because of a lot of circumstances, you know, they can't lose weight, and as a result of that, it costs the rest of us in America a lot of money, because obesity leads into chronic illnesses, which is 75% of the cost of health care. If you're obese, you have a much better inclination. You're going to end up diabetic. You're probably going to have high blood pressure. You're more than likely going to have stress in your life. You're going to more than likely have some kind of heart diseases. And more likely, you're going to end up on Medicare or Medicaid, costing the taxpayers a lot more money. Whereas if you take some medicine, you can reduce your obesity and be able to become healthier. What is better, a $5 pill that's prevent a $50,000 operation? I say, you tell me. I say I would rather take the $5 pill than spend $50,000 on an operation on your heart when you could have prevented it. And that's the argument. And you got to look at it in common sense. Common sense says you should cover it because it's going to save a lot of money. Overall, Medicare in America costs $550 billion a year. Just forget this. Obesity-related diseases cost almost 200. So 1/3 of that. Now, wouldn't it be smart, to do something to reduce that $200 billion, or 190 would be exact, which are obesity-related costs on our healthcare system? I say, let's spend a few $1,000s to reduce $200 billion.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
That's the argument.
Yeah. Well, is this kind of what you want to be your mission? You head into the golden years and you're very fit, but you and Sue Ann have been so proactive in health issues. Sue Ann's fight with breast cancer, so active in the community in that. Is that kind of your mission now to help fellow boomers stay healthy?
Well, it's not only boomers, but I guess, but I really want to get the message out. And right now, what is the #1 topic that everybody is talking about? Obamacare and healthcare. How am I going to pay for it? So let's take a look at that. Healthcare costs $2.7 trillion. $2.7 trillion. Almost 20% of all the goods and services. Now, if we're going to have any impact on that, you have to go to what's driving it. What's driving it is chronic illnesses, cancers, diabetes, Alzheimer's, a lot of things like this. A lot of this can be prevented by ourselves. Yeah. Not Alzheimer's so much, but heart attacks, cancers, by eating properly and exercising. So why don't we try in America to be smart? We're great people, and we've got a great state in Wisconsin. Why don't we just, use our common sense? If I push myself away from the table, I tell people, something, you can load up all you want. Make everybody in the restaurant happy, everybody, your host or hostess, really happy. Take everything on your plate, but only eat half of it. Push away half. The 50% rule. If you do that, you're going to lose weight. And you make everybody happy, you lose weight, and you become healthier, and you save the taxpayers' money. I say everybody wins. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
Still got a lot of energy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's so good. It's good to see you. You're as vital and feisty as ever, and I think a great cheerleader for this campaign.
Absolutely.
I really want us. I want us to be happy in our golden years. I want everybody to be happy. The best way to be happy is what? Be healthy.
That's right.
Good to see you, Governor. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you very much.